All right, so here's a pretty crucial piece of information on election coverage. So we got a story. It says Sanders plans to participate in April DNC debate because this is a big piece because it tells us that Bernie Sanders will continue in the race. He's not going to drop out. Um, it says that he plans to attend the debate with Joe Biden. It says the DNC is yet to provide details about when its next debate will be held. It says if there's a debate in April, he plans to be there, said Mike Casca, a Sanders campaign official, in an email. So they had a debate previously, as you guys know, and I'm increasingly convinced that Biden was on some sort of a substance because he seemed very different than he does in his live stream addresses, in any of his videos, any of his public speaking that he does. He didn't seem the same, even though he still kind of continued to have those different sort of dementia, outbreaks or whatever you want to call it, gaffes of whatever you want to call. But Bernie Sanders staying in the race, I think, is a good idea at this point, considering how many sort of unknowns we have. The polling data is not looking very good. I'm not going to lie to you folks. It's not looking too great. A lot of stuff has been pushed back to June. I don't think we have a primary for another like a month, and I think that one is Puerto Rico, and I don't know how they're planning to vote. If whether they're going to go for Bernie or Joe, but I think it's probably a good idea to stay in the race simply for the fact that there are so many variables going on with, the current pandemic crisis that we're facing right now. And Joe Biden's looming health, I think, is a big thing. Joe Biden could honestly have a stroke or an aneurysm at any moment. He's already had an aneurysm back in 1988. It was either one or two aneurysms in 1988. It was to the point where the surgeon told him, yo, you got 30 to 50% chance of being back to normal. That's back in 88. So he's at high risk for something like an aneurysm or a stroke. So considering that to be the case, Bernie Sanders could really sort of swoop in and, if something happens to Joe Biden. So I think it's just a good idea in general. We just saw that report about Joe Biden where he and Obama are both aware that, yeah, he could sort of collapse at any moment and someone can step in. So there's a lot of variables going on right now, and I think we don't really lose anything by continuing to go in, especially because Bernie Sanders is sort of the de facto leader right now in terms of the Rona response. Although some people say Cuomo, and you might have somewhat of an argument there, I would say. But yeah, so I think it's a good move to stay in the race right now. I think that all he can do is really give us good stuff if he continues in the race and doesn't drop out. So I guess we got some good news that Bernie Sanders continuing in the race. It's unfortunate we're at a 300 delegate deficit right now because it's a pretty tough delegate deficit to overcome. But even if we can get some concessions and then sort of gear up for our next run, and I think we need to focus more on House races this time around. That's a crucial piece. So I guess let's keep this show on the road. I guess let's keep it going.